I came across a run of comic books that I bought not because I want to make money, not because of speculation, not because the books are valuable, because I am a comic book reader. I love to read comic books. I got an amazing run that I'm going to show you of some comic books from the original owner who bought them as a child in the 1960s. Hey YouTube, it's Matt here, and like I talked about, the love of reading a good story is what drew 99% of the people into the comic book collecting hobby. Now guys, we all know that there are people out there that really don't read the comic books. They are genuine collectors, just like anybody else, but they're into it for the value of it, okay? They have fun with the buying low, selling high, that type of stuff. Guys, listen, I would love to find that Action Comics #1 inside the walls of my house that somebody used for insulation back in 1939. But one, my house isn't that old, and two, that's just never going to happen. But a lot of people, we really just like reading good stories. Now, I'm going to show off some books. Some of these books date back into the 1940s. The latest that it'll be is a 1960s comic book. But these aren't the spandex-clad superheroes that a lot of us love very much. These are the classic illustrated books back from the 40s. Now, this is a reprint of the original. This is The Three Musketeers, which classic illustrated #1, but the original had a different cover. It was Three Musketeers. It's the same story. It has the same interior art, but this was a reprint done. I'm not exactly sure when. I've been looking it up. Some things say the 50s, some say the 60s. Honestly, I'm not sure. But that's one of the books. I got like 300 total comic books. Now, guys, they're not all Classics Illustrated. Some of them, or I guess this is a Classics Illustrated. This is a special edition. This is The Story of Jesus. This was issue number... It doesn't even have an issue. It's just a special edition. But they had many of these. These were a little bit more. These were 35 cents, but you can look. These are a lot thicker. What is this one? The Story of America? And they are without a doubt graphic novel formats. Now, how these started. Go way back in 1941. Okay? A Russian immigrant. He had an idea of taking the seemingly very popular comic book medium. You know, we had Batman out there, and we had Captain America, and you know, like there were others that were out there. Obviously, Superman, many other golden age heroes. Comic books were starting to become very popular. Well, he decided to take that medium, that format, and put a lot of classic stories to it. Now, these were special editions, and I will get back to the original Classics Illustrated, but you can see the first one was The Three Musketeers, which is a very classic story, and he just took those stories, put them into a graphic novel format. So we might not consider these like true comic books, but they really are. These are some of the earliest comic books out there. This is Adventures in Science. I got a full stack here of these illustrated special editions. A whole bunch of them. These books are not necessarily in mint condition, but that is okay because these are going to be fun reads for me to do. Now, here's some more of these classic illustrated special editions or special issues. Forgive me. There was another Classics Illustrated Junior line that went on, and you can see you can collect all of them. You know, very much comic book collectible type of thing. And what is this story? The Happy Hedgehog. I'll be honest with you, I've never heard of the Happy Hedgehog. Somebody has, but not this guy. But I am looking forward to reading them. These books, They were sold to me by the original owner. It was actually a really nice meeting that I had with this gentleman who, he told me he collected these back whenever he was a kid, back in the 1960s. These are not bagged and boarded. These were just very well kept. In fact, I'm surprised at the condition that these books are in, because whenever you think of a 1960s book that was not bagged and boarded, was not collected as we collect comic books today. These books were read, they were loved, and they were reread multiple times, but they were very well maintained. Okay, because guys, 60s is 60 some years ago. Some of these books are 1962. So for somebody to keep these books in good shape for 60 years is quite amazing. Now, I do want to show you a couple other things that I'm going on here, but I'm going to start going through the first 20 or so, the Classics Illustrated. But just to give you an idea, not all these books were kept in superb condition. This one's without a cover. I have a whole stack that do not have covers in them. Now, these books kind of surprised me. Now, this is called Treasure Chest. And if you went to a Catholic school in the 1960s, you would know about this. This was a book that came out and was given to all the students, and in it they had different lessons so that the teachers could use it to help with the instruction. A lot of these stories were very moral. Some of them were informative, and some of them were just funny. Why? Hey, why does education have to be a bore? So there are a whole stack of these treasure chest books, and like I said, these were given to Catholic school students back in the 1960s. I'm not really sure when that started, or forgive me, I'm not sure when that stopped being a part of the curriculum, but it was definitely kind of cool. I have seen these before, but I never got to touch any, and I'm looking forward to reading them. Now, the Classics Illustrated. Guys, some of these books are very well sought after. Some of them will catch a pretty big penny for something that was never meant to be a collectible. Now, like I said, issue number 1 is a reprint. These books are not worth a whole lot because they are reprints, but the original first edition Classics Illustrated Three Musketeers, that book is very highly sought after. That book catches a nice penny, but these are not. These are the reprints. Issue number 2, Ivanhoe. Okay, the first issue was Three Musketeers, Ivanhoe. The Count of Monte Cristo is issue number 3. Guys, this is one of those stories that I absolutely loved as a child. The Last of the Mohicans. Yeah, we're talking very classic literature, but it was done in a way that kids would start to like it and read it. Moby Dick. You know, this was a great book. Herman Melville spun a tale of just lore of the ocean. Guys, a lot of people in this channel don't know this, but I actually spent a year of my life working out at sea on a ship as a sailor, and I love the ocean, okay? There's something about the ocean, it just calls upon you, and it's a fabulous lifestyle to live out there. I read Moby Dick as a kid. Loved it. Whenever I was on that ship, I picked up a copy of Moby Dick. Guys, Herman Melville wrote such a great tale, and you could tell he had spent time on the ocean, or at least he spoke to somebody that did spend a lot of time. Because that book, I don't know, there was just something about it. It was an extremely riveting tale. It took me a day to read it. It's not a long book by itself, but it's a classic tale of about, strife out on the ocean. I was never attacked by any giant whales or anything like that, but yeah, that would have been fun. Whoa. I'm actually looking at this. This is the original. Remember I said these were reprints? This book here is not a reprint. This book is. So there are 3 copies of Moby Dick right here. These 2 are the reprints. That other one's an original. I kind of didn't expect to see that. A Tale of Two Cities. Robin Hood. And guys, I am so going to mispronounce this. And my high school French teacher, all 10 of them, trust me, I had a bunch of them. Like, we kept losing French teachers at my school for some reason, and then they get replaced. I don't think it was a full 10, but Lord knows it was way too many for the 3 years I took French. But Les Miserables, I don't know. Forgive me, okay? It looks like Les Miserables, okay? But anyhow, this book, number 9. 10, Robinson Crusoe. Don Quixote. Got 2 of these. This is pretty cool. Rip Van Winkle. Looks like doubles. I kind of like doubles. Doubles are fun to have in a collection. Ooh. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. But look at the original art done on these comic books. Here's what the original cover was supposed to look like. You can see a little bit of penmanship on this, okay? Like I said, these books were extremely well loved. And Uncle Tom's Cabin. 1 copy. 2 copies. Is this the same cover? It is. For some reason, when I was looking at it in the camera, because I can see backwards, it looked like a different book. But here is a 3rd copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin. I was in 1st grade, and I love to read. So, anyhow, I asked a relative, hey, where can I get a book? And then I was taken to my town's library. Guys, I was in 1st grade. I knew of a library, but I was just never there. Anyhow, I went into the library, and boom! There was a wide world of books. Loved it, okay? I still like going to libraries. Anyhow, I saw a copy of Uncle Tom's Cabin. My family had a friend, Tom, and a lot of times I called Tom Uncle Tom, even though I knew he wasn't my real uncle. Well, guys, I don't know anything about Uncle Tom's Cabin, so I pick it up. And I checked it out, and the librarian looked at me like, you really want to read this? I did really want to read it. That being said, it's a classic American book, but whenever I was in 1st grade, believe it or not, I understood the words, but whenever I said it to the librarian, whenever I took it back, she goes, did you understand it? I said, truthfully, no. I understood the words, I knew what I was reading, but whenever I read them and all the, one after another in the sentences, I didn't understand what was going on. And I was in 1st grade, so I did attempt to read it in 1st grade. It was over my head. It was well above my reading level. Plus, I didn't know the history behind the book or what they were even talking about. I read that book later as an adult. I kind of understood it a lot more, okay? But Uncle Tom's Cabin, it's a very popular book. In fact, it's the number 2 selling book in America, minus 1 book. Somebody tell me what the number 1 selling book in America is in the comments. But this one is Gulliver's Travels. Gotta love Gulliver's Travels. Again, we have some doubles. Deerslayer. Okay, excellent book here. I've actually read that tale. Whoa, this is pretty cool. Hunchback on Notre Dame. Oh wait, here's 1 copy. Here's another with a different cover. Here's another copy. Huckleberry Finn. Now, there's something kind of cool about this. Look at who the author was. Samuel Clemens. I always thought Mark Twain was the writer. Looks like I was wrong. Now, that being said, somebody in the comments is going to be like, well, hey, Mark Twain is Samuel Clemens. That was only his pen name. Yes, I'm aware of that. Just a kind of little fun fact. Pathfinder. And I'm going to end this on issue 23. Double copy of Oliver Twist, a classic English tale. Guys, sometimes whenever you're out and about and you find comic books, they're not always these high-priced, these flashy spandex-clad superheroes. Sometimes they're just good tales done in a graphic novel format. I lucked out today. I met a great human being, and I also got a lot of great reading ahead of me. Guys, I hope you liked this video. I hope you like the content of this channel. If you do, hit a thumbs up and put a comment down below. And guys, we just crossed 1,500 subscribers. This little channel is somehow growing. Sometimes I'm not sure how it's growing, but it still is. I want to let everyone on here know that I absolutely appreciate you. I appreciate those that nominated me for a Comic Book Community Award. You can vote for this great channel here. But again, I want to let everyone know I absolutely heartfelt appreciate every one of you. I thank you for watching, and everybody have a great day.